Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new, welcome for the first time. And tonight, it's time for a book haul, people. Stay tuned. Okay everyone, before we get going, I'm going to be making huge changes to my library. There are a lot of books that I'm not going to read, a lot of books that I've read that I did not enjoy, and they're going to all be going to the SPCA, and hopefully they turn up in good hands, because I'm just not going to read them, and I'm making space for new books, these books and more books incoming, because I want to own books that I really want to read over the next few years, and that just makes more sense to me. And there's a lot of books that we inherited from the previous owners of this property, and I'm going to be letting them go to make more space. So let's get going. Okay, the first two books in my haul I have read and I loved so much that they're in my top 20 horror novels of all time, and I had to own them, people, because I'm definitely going to reread them again in the future. And first off we got, and these are very hard to get for me, so you understand why I'm so excited, people. First I got Gone to See the River Man by Christopher Triano. Now it's kind of ironic because I've just DNF'd first ever time one of his books for our Fright Club book club pick, and it's extreme horror, but this one was a 5-star favourite. Let me tell you what it's about. So it's superfan, groupies, stalkers. These people will give anything for the idols they worship, be they rock stars, actors or authors, or even serial killers. Laurie's obsession is with Edmund Cox, who was convicted of butchering more than 20 women. She will do anything to get close to him, so when he gives her a task, she accepts. She has no idea of the horror that awaits her. Edmund says she must go to his cabin in the woods and retrieve a key to deliver to a mysterious figure known only as the Riverman. She brings along her sister, who's disabled, and the trip becomes a surreal nightmare, one that digs up Laurie's personal demons, the ones she feels bonds her to Edmund. Soon she will learn the Riverman is not quite fact or folklore, and definitely not human, at least not anymore. This is an amazing book. It's atmospheric, it's dark, and I'm just very, very happy to have it on my bookshelf. Gone to See the Riverman. Next up we got a new to me favourite indie author, Chad Lutzke. And people, this is Skullface Boy. Now, I've read about 10 of his books now, and nothing less than 5-star, 4-star, and this is just a wonderful story. And it's kind of light on the horror. It's not like some might not even call it a horror. It's more like a dark coming of age story. But it's beautiful, people. And there were times where, when I was on my Kindle before I had the book, I just wanted to write down little things left, right and centre, because it's just so beautiful. And very quickly, my name is Levy. I'm 16, I've got a skull for a face, and here's how shit went down. Having never been outside the walls of the Graham Jones foster care facility, 16-year-old Levy leaves in the middle of the night with an empty backpack and a newfound lust for life, a journey that leads him into the arms of delusional newlyweds, drunkards, polygamists, the dangerous and the batshit crazy. His destination, Hermosa Beach, California, where he's told there's another group of him, or there's another like him, with the face of a skull. So it's a coming-of-age road trip filled with surreal Lynchian encounters, exploring the dark, the disturbing and the lonely in a 1980s world, an epic venture for one disfigured boy struggling to find his place in the world. I absolutely fell in love with this book, and I'm probably going to reread it next year. It's just beautiful, and this time I'll be taking lots of notes. So that is Skullface Boy. And while I was shopping online, I saw Another Chad Litsky that I've had imported, and that is Spinal Remains. You gotta love that cover, a collection of stories. And yeah, this actually seems perfect for Halloween. I've already done my October pile of possibilities, but maybe I should dip into this as well. And these short stories cover kind of psychological horror, crime, extreme human horror, B-movie, bizarre, coming of age, humorous, heartfelt, and plenty more. All I can say, yeah, he's very, very good with horror with heart. Very emotional horror. He touches onto things that are kind of dark and disturbing, and yeah, that will really make you feel. He's very good with that. So that is Spinal Remains, a collection of stories. Okay, next up, I recently hauled a book called Bad Moon Rising by Jonathan Maybury. And I was told by one of my subscribers that no, this is the third book in a series. A very, very good series. And so I went and got the first book, people. So I want to read this series. And this is Ghost Road Blues by Jonathan Maybury. A Pine Deep novel. And this cover is one of my favorites. This is one of my new favorite covers, people. Look at those fingernails. This is freaking awesome. Let me tell you very quickly what it's about. The book that launched the Pine Deep trilogy. 30 years ago, a blues musician called the Bone Man killed the devil at the crossroads, only to be beaten and hung like a scarecrow in a cornfield, or so the story goes. Today, the people of Pine Deep celebrate the town's grisly past by luring tourists to the famous haunted hayride, full of chills and scares. Hey, this sounds like a good Halloween book as well. Maybe I should save it for next Halloween. The spookiest town in America will learn the true meaning of fear. Its residents will see the real face of evil lurking behind the masks of ordinary people. They will feel it in their hearts, in their bones, in their nightmares. Because evil never dies. It only grows stronger. Yeah, there's all sorts of people saying stuff about this. This horror is rich and visceral. It's close to the heart and close to the jugular. That's what I like. Just love the back cover as well. The front cover, just with those nails. I think it's some kind of vampire tale. Yeah, I kind of peeked a little bit, but that's all I know. It's going to be fun. That is Ghost Road Blues. Next up we got Dark Carnival by Ray Bradbury. I'm collecting everything this man's written, and I'm reading everything he's written. He's just magical. Gorgeous prose. There's always like kind of something dark, even if it's science fiction, fantasy. It's just this kind of dark, sinister stuff going on in the background of a lot of his stories. And yeah, so it's his first novel. Very happy to get my hands on it. It was published in 1947. This is a 2025 edition. Very unlikely to find some of those rare early editions for stuff now. But yeah, his first short story collection heralds the arrival of one of the 20th century's greatest writers. Not arguing with that. Each tale is marked with the uncharacteristic genius for the unusual and the uncanny, the unexamined and the unexplained, that would define his later works as classics. But beneath each also runs a dark undercurrent of terror that might just pull you under. Yeah, love the man. Own so many of his books. Something Wicked This Way Comes. I'm going to be reading it in October. But yeah, that's Dark Carnival. Okay, next up we got Fever Dream by George R.R. Martin. Now yeah, same guy who wrote Game of Thrones, which I still need to read, people. Really. Yeah, but I'm not going to go into the whole plot. It's about a riverboat on the Mississippi, kind of back in the day. And yeah, it's about a vampire, and I think he wants to bring mortal world and immortal world together. That's all I know. But let's just say what other people have to say about it. An adventure into the heart of darkness that transcends even the most inventive vampire novels. Fever Dream runs red with original high adventure. Stands alongside Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire as a revolutionary work. engaging and meaningful. Yeah, so I'm kind of super excited for this. Something completely different. And I really do enjoy Anne Rice's first 3 interview of the vampire stories, Vampire Chronicles, because those vampires mean business. And I don't think this is going to be, you know, those other vampires. This will have vampires that have a little bit of bite to them. Yeah. So that's Fever Dream. Okay, next up we got Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. I've heard so much about this book. I know that one of my friends, booktuber friends, Chaz from Bookish Chaz, he was on a live show with me, and he highly recommended this book, and I heard it spoken about all over BookTube. So yeah, I think it's kind of like a sci-fi thriller. It's supposed to be really gripping. So let's see what the back says. Are you happy in your life? Those are the last words Jason Desson hears before the masked abductor knocks him unconscious, before he awakes to find himself strapped to a gurney surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits, before the man he's never met smiles down at him and says welcome back. In this world he's woken up to, Jason's life is not the one he knew, not the one he knows. His wife is not his wife. His son was never born. And Jason is not an ordinary college physics professor. Is it this world or the other that's a dream? The question lies in a journey. The answer lies in a journey more wondrous and horrifying than anything Jason could have imagined. See, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. Sounds like an awesome thriller. Not normally my cup of thing, but, you know, friends told me I should read it, so I'm going to read it. So yeah, that is Dark Matter. Okay, next up we have Empire of the Vampire Job by J. Christoph. Now this book has also been recommended to me, left, right and centre. And I also watched Mike's book reviews, speak highly of it. And so I'm super excited, especially now because I'm kind of getting back into a lot of fantasy. And this thing kind of seems like it bridges the gaps. I mean, if you look at that, this is a vampire story, people. And yeah, rest assured this has got nothing to do with sparkling vampires once more. I think this is kind of quite a vicious, dark book. But it's set in very much a kind of fantasy world with world building and stuff like that. But yeah, let me just talk what about. It has been 27 long years since the last sunrise. Ever since, vampires have waged war with against humanity, building their eternal empire even as they tear down our own. Gabriel, half man, half monster, and last remaining Silver Saint, a sworn brother of the Holy Silver Order, dedicated to defending the realm from the creatures of the night, is all that stands between the world and its end. Imprisoned by the very monsters he has vowed to destroy, Gabriel is forced to tell his story, a story of legendary battles, forbidden love or faith lost and friendships won, of the war of the blood and the forever king, and the quest for humanity's last remaining hope, a holy grail, the Holy Grail. This book has got like I think 4.3 or 4.4 or something on Goodreads, which is ridiculously high, and people say it is absolutely a blast. So yeah, and I think it's a trilogy. So well, if I love this big meaty book, 700 pages, 800 pages, if I enjoy this, I'm just going to get the next two as well. So that is Empire of the Vampire. Okay, so next up we got The Aberrat by Clive Barker. Now, yeah, I showed this the other day for my TBR, but I did that because it's part of 2 other books as well. So I'm just going to talk about all 3 right now. That is part 1. Part 2, Aberrat, Days of Magic, Nights of War. And don't you love this cover? Now this irritates me because I couldn't find a similar cover for part 1 and part 3, which I'm going to show you now. And they're actually editions where they're illustrations by Clive Barker. And yeah, I'd love to get my hands on those again, but I think they're kind of expensive. But yeah, he illustrates all of it himself, and you know, he's an artist. He's not just an author, he's an artist, he's a painter. And so yeah, it's a beautiful book, and this is part 3. absolute midnight. And I want to reread this very badly because I love Clive Barker. He's right up there in my favourite author's picture. And so yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it's about because I told you the other day, but very basically, Candy Quakenbush is bored of Chicken Town and she gets swept away by this big wave and she finds herself in the Aberrat, which is a world where there's all these islands, and the islands are every hour of the day. So at 1 o'clock in the morning to 12 p.m. at night, and you got midnight, and yeah, it's dark, and there's an evil there. And the book gets quite dark, but it is so imaginative. It is just so beautiful, so stunning in terms of Clive Barker, the characters, what he can imagine of the landscape of worlds. It's beautiful, and it's very YA for some, but it's Clive Barker, so there's going to be some horror, that's for sure. But yeah, I love the series, Aberrat. Okay, my final book, which is next, absolute treasure of mine, but I'm going to start first with Stephen King, Never Flinch. Now yeah, I've heard very mixed feelings about this book. I do love Holly. I've actually really enjoyed most of the books, her journey, but yeah, I'm entering into this one with a little bit of hesitation. It's got good reviews on booktube, I think, but yeah, let me just talk about it. When the Buckeye City Police Department receives a disturbing letter from a person threatening to kill 13 innocents and 1 guilty to atone for the needless death of an innocent man, Detective Izzy Jones turns to her friend Holly Gibney for help. Meanwhile, controversial and outspoken women's rights activist Kate McKay is embarking on a multi-state lecture tour, but someone who vehemently opposes Kate's message of female empowerment is targeting her and disrupting her events. Now the stalker is growing bolder and Holly is hired to be Kate's bodyguard. So yeah, so there's these twin narratives, 2 separate things. And yeah, I'm sure he pulls it off. I'm sure it's a great story, but I'm buying everything and reading everything the man's written. I'm on like 64, 66 books so far, so I'm not going to stop. Even if, yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. If you've read it, let me know. Did you enjoy it, or did you find it a disappointment? But I will get to it one day. Never flinch. And finally, a new treasure of mine, people. Leatherbound. Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales, people. Golden Edges. Yeah. I'm ecstatic with this. Gorgeous cover. And yeah, you can feel the leather. It's absolutely beautiful. And you know what I love? I love my fairy tales, but I like my fairy tales dark. And this book, the fairy tales, the original fairy tales by Grimm, were dark. It's not the happily ever after that you probably hear when you were a kid. Yeah, when you're told stories like Hansel and Gretel. A lot of them are a little bit more nasty, and I like it. So this is the way they were intended to be told, and I'm definitely going to dip into this in the future. I know that there's a fairy tale event next year, and I'm going to take part and dip into this book. So that's Grimm's Fairy Tales. Just a beautiful book. Beautiful book. Okay everyone, that's my video for tonight. I hope you enjoyed that book haul. And yeah, I've got another a big one coming later on in the month. Like I said, I'm making changes, people. But the books I'm getting rid of are going to good cause, SPCA. So yeah, have you read any of those books? Let me know what you think. I'd love to have a conversation with you down in the space below. And I hope you all have a wonderful spooky season. And take care of yourselves. Keep those pages turning, and cheers.